Hey guys, I'm here at the house today. It's November the 10th. We've got a huge cold front coming through Tuesday. Temperatures, the highs are going to be into the low 30s. Chance of snow, could get an inch on the mountain. And today the high is going to be 66, I believe. So a huge temperature swing today. But this morning it was 39, not as cold as it was yesterday morning. Yesterday morning it was down into the upper 20s. So I had something to do this morning, wasn't able to get out into the woods. And I was going to go hunting this afternoon, but I mean, it's literally like I could be in shorts outside right now. It's a beautiful sunny day. I think what I'm going to do is get prepared for this cold front that's coming through and really hunt the mountain hard next week. We're still about a month away from real rut activity on the mountain, but I think this cold weather is going to get those bucks out, maybe moving, maybe checking some scrapes and putting down some sign for the first time this year. But what I want to do is I had a super mature buck show up on trail camera, and I'm going to show you guys a sneak peek at him here on my phone. This is a picture from the trail cam. Split G2s. Check out the split G2s on that deer and the palmation on his antler on the left side. And notice that it is daylight when he's coming in, so just an absolute tank of a body on this deer. This is a old mature mountain buck that I would love to harvest. I would absolutely love to harvest this animal and be able to share this with you guys and have a memory for me forever and put him on my wall. So when this guy showed up, I've never seen this buck before. Never seen him on this property before that I know of. He is a stud for this area. So I want to have several different options available for him. He came into the box you've seen me hunt in previous episodes there on the mountain, the redneck blind. And you saw me go in and set up a ground blind the other day. That was actually before I knew that he had come through there. And that ground blind is 175, 200 yards from the box, but it's down through a big ravine and up the other side. It's real thick. I know some bucks are bedding in that area. They always have historically. So I set up that ground blind, just trying to give another option in case they're staging up in that area. And what that area is, when this property was cut in 1999, and this was a loading zone for the logs, so it hasn't grown back as much as the rest of it. And I mean, where I'm hunting on the mountain, like I said, it had been clear cut in 99 and it was just left to grow back natural. It's extremely thick, and it's not pine thick, it's hardwood thick. So I mean, hunting over there is challenging because you don't have a lot of options that you can get. Number one, there's not a lot of trees that are big enough to climb or put a ladder stand in. And the other part of it too is, even when you find a tree, if you get above the ground, you literally can't see anything through the saplings. I mean, you could see a deer moving, but you certainly wouldn't have a shot opportunity. And then even getting down on the ground, there's very few places you can do that. There's just so many saplings that are this size in between you and the deer. So I mean, the deer have a chance to grow old here. There is hunting pressure around it. We're the thickest spot, so I think when gun season opens especially, a lot of bucks like this one come into the thick areas. Now obviously during the rut, they're going to follow that hot doe wherever. So I think my best chance of getting this deer is going to be getting him before the rut up on the mountain. That's why I'm going to spend today, this afternoon, which is going to be warm. It's going to be close to 70. I don't think there's going to be a lot of deer movement before daylight, so I'm going to go get sort of an abandoned spot. It was a clearing that we had that we actually didn't even plant this year. It's And there's an old wood box there. I'm sure it needs work. I know for a fact it hadn't been hunted in 4 years. So I'm gonna take some blind material, put up on the windows, sweep out the inside of it, make sure it's safe to get up in. I'm gonna put some corn out, put a camera up. And between that spot, which is about 400 yards from the redneck blind, the ground blind that I put up, and the redneck blind, we're gonna have a pretty good circle where I've got a picture of this buck. And also, I put out some more trail cameras yesterday before I left. I want to get an idea. I hope to catch him. I want to see which direction he's coming from. Because where the redneck is, it's sitting on a big ravine that just kind of funnels deer there. But there's 4 different secondary ridges that come down that hit a flat that come up to where the redneck is. And so I want to get an idea of which ravine he's traveling down. He's got to be coming from one of the 4. So I've got 2 trail cameras up already on 2 of the ravines. I'm going to take 2 more with me today. I'm going to get those up on travel corridors, seeing if I can just get a glimpse of this buck. So if I know which ravine he's coming to, maybe I can cut him off. The ground blind is on one of the ravines. I don't know if it showed in the video of me setting up the blind. Maybe I'll get some today. That ravine falls off to the right of the blind. Well, that's one corridor that goes to the redneck. So I've got one of them covered with a stand. I don't have the other 3 covered at all. But if we can get a picture of him and know which one there is, 2 of them, the only thing that's going to work is a ground blind. If he's coming down the 4th one, I can get a ladder stand in there, but I'm only going to be able to get about 8 feet up in the air, which is fine. I'll just take a section or 2 off a ladder stand and hang it. But I think my best chance of getting this deer right here killed is going to be before the rut hits. Because when the rut hits, there's no telling where this deer is going to go, because I know he came from another property around us, probably from hunting pressure, and if he goes off us chasing a doe, there's not anybody that hunts around us that will not shoot that deer. I don't know anybody that wouldn't shoot that deer. So here we are. We're in one of the spots I was talking about earlier, about where I think maybe this buck might be coming through. I've got one covered. I'm going to try to cover this one. We're going to put out some corn here and put up a trail camera and see what we can get coming. Here's that box I was telling you about that I know nobody's been in for a while. It's this one here. We're going to go over there and we're going to get the wasp out of it, put up some rubber, show you guys a trick I use and see if you like it too. But we're going to blind that in good, and so these deer are used to seeing it when they come out here, and we'll see what happens. I brought a chair, but it looks like there's one sticking up. I don't know how good it is, but that's our trying to get that old split G2, baby. I'm gonna put our old Moultrie up. This was back before Moultrie come out with the wireless. I've got like 6 of these. These are the greatest cameras. I've had no problems out of these. And Moultrie quit making them. I don't know if it's because they weren't having any problems out of them or what, but these are excellent cameras. Moultrie, you should make these again. These are awesome. But like I said, I've had this one about 6 years. So, I mean, change the batteries, keep the card in, it's good stuff. But the new Moultries I hadn't had good luck with. And for the money, I mean, you see, well, a lot of what I'm using a lot of spy points. And I mean, for the price points, you can't beat spy point. None of them's wireless, but to be honest, I don't want the wireless. I enjoy coming and checking the trail cam, so might be good for an out-of-town place or something like that. But we're gonna stick this up on this and see what happens. Need need some mechanical assistance. Depending on what we get here, camera wise, we'll put up a permanent feeder, keep it dry and keep it dispensing. So, but I don't want to put it up and not know. We got it set, so time will tell. Now let's go over here and see how bad this thing is. Plenty of bee activity around it, as you can see. We're gonna do it though. We're gonna see if we can do this without getting stung, but it's gonna be worth it. So see what happens. Like I said, hadn't been hunted in 4 or 5 years. You can see the vines growing up through the steps. We had a guy that hunted this, and he's still alive, but he's 76 years old and he's had heart problems for the last 6 years. So this used to be his old stand. He didn't hunt much, but we're gonna see if we can revitalize it and take advantage of it since it's here and in an open spot. We'll see what we can do. Well, the rats have had a field day with the carpet, but it's actually not as bad as I thought. There's really no wasp's nest in it, I think, just because it's so warm today. The wasps are circling this OSB. But I mean, you can see the view we've got. I mean, a lot more open land than what we have at the redneck blind. So hopefully those split G2's coming through here, because we can slip in on this one pretty good too. So I'm gonna try to get this thing cleaned up best I can, and then I'm gonna turn the camera back on when I'm doing my blind work. I want you guys to take a look at that. Something you can employ, I think, will be work for you guys as well. That's funny. Old Kermit had him a built-in latrine here. Pretty ingenious. Don't know that I'll be using that, but I'll leave it in there in case he ever does come back to hunt. But thought that was pretty funny. Good idea though. Got all the dead wasp nest out of here. Didn't want to use my hunting knife, so I brought a steak knife for cutting. Sorry, Hannah. That's all I could find. But what I'm going to do, and I've used it, ladybug. What I'm going to do is, this is rubber roofing. You can see how thick it is. You can get this in a 10 by 150 foot roll at a roofing supply company place. And so 10 by 150, that's 1,500 square feet. 1,500 square foot roll of this is like $140. And I mean, it's got great uses. I put it on outside stuff that I don't want to break down. This doesn't break down like tarps do. You know, with UV light, you put tarps over something, you come back in a year or two and the UV light's destroyed it to where it's like little fibers. This holds up a lot better, and I've used it on a lot of hunting blinds, blacking it in, you know, keeping the daylight out. But I'm going to put this up on the windows. And what I like to use, this is just a number 9 1-inch rubber headed tech screw, and I'm going to put this up on the inside, and I'm going to completely black it out. And then what I'll do is carve with the steak knife, carve holes out into it to where I can get shooting lanes out. And also strategically, you know, trying to think where the deer are going to be looking at this box, because regardless, they're going to look at the box, so you don't want them to catch movement. That's all they're doing, is trying to catch movement inside the box. But definitely keep back behind me blacked out, so I can, even with the daylight coming in, it will allow me to get some movement. And also create a spot so the camera can look out. But we're gonna get a lot because this roof is open to the air the way this is built. It's basically on sleepers. You got basically a roof truss here with a sleeper on top of it with the metal roof screwed down. And I mean, when it rains or sleets, it's gonna make some noise, but I mean, they're used to that. This thing's been sitting out here for, I know, 10 years. So not worried about the noise from that, but definitely want to black it out. And it'll take them a little time to get used to seeing this. He had a piece of corrugated plastic up here. You couldn't even get a gun out. And I mean, obviously you saw where I put the corn out is like right there, over there, about 70 yards. So I definitely want a shot opportunity here. But I'll turn it back on when I get closer to being finished. Okay guys, that took about 10 minutes. I mean, not a big deal. One thing, you can see I trimmed this off pretty good to the wood. Deer don't care, but I wish I'd have showed you before I took it off. But you know, the piece of plastic that was here, where it hung down below this stud, that's where all the wasp nests were. So, and you could see them with the clear plastic, but with this black rubber, you can't see them. So, not during hunting season, but say you come in here to check it next summer, you open the door, you don't see anything flying around. Well, you get in here, mess with them, and before you know it, it's too late. And like I said, I'm allergic to bees, so I'm overly cautious, but I like to trim this bottom edge out because that is where it's right there on the stud. You can see the stud right there. If a wasp nest builds there, I'm going to be able to see it all the way around this thing. So I'm not surprised. But we've got it blacked out, and you can see, I mean, hopefully it translates to the camera. We've got light coming in up top, but I mean, it's drastically changed this inside. I put a little flap right here over the door. Just because there's quite a bit of light coming in right there and I don't want it. So put a little piece right there. I'll just have to duck when I come in. To this way, there is no shot. It's looking straight into the thicket. I mean, if I hear a deer there, all I could do is look at it, and I mean, it'd be easy to make a slit to see out, but there's no shot opportunity there. So any deer that's there is likely coming out. So my shot opportunities are going to be here in front of me. So we've got a blank canvas to work from. Where do I want my shots? And then here on the side, this is back where the corn is over here. So, but the other thing I've got to consider, especially videoing, is where do I want my video camera? And to me, anytime I'm hunting a box or a ladder stand or a climber and I'm on a camera arm, I like my camera to my right. So my camera is going to be set up over here. And so that's where I need to do a view window to be able to see. So now we're going to start cutting some of these openings so that we can hunt out of it. So let's just see what we got here. I wish you could feel that, but it's so much warmer in here now, even with this open air. This black, I mean, and in the wintertime, that's when we're going to be in these boxes. That's important, because if it's a cold day but the sun's out, we'll get a lot of heat build up on this. Not so much the plastic he had up, but I didn't like the plastic anyway because there's no shot opportunity there. So most likely my camera's going to be right there in the corner. I'm going to be dead set in the middle. So I definitely want, just looking at this box, I definitely want a small opening in the middle of this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to find the stud, which is right there, and I'm going to make a slit with my steak knife down as straight as I can. Okay, and you can see how much light now is coming through there, and that's what the deer's looking at. So we're going to do that, but that's obviously we want something bigger than that. So I'm going to come over probably about 2 inches. I'm going to make another cut straight down. So, and let's take a look at our opening and see what we got. What can we see out of this? Let's see. So there's what we're looking at. And see, that's a 2-inch hole at best. 2-inch. So what you're seeing right there is a sprayer that's been sitting there for at least 6 months. So any deer that see that, not worried about it. So now we got that slit. Now we're on a, where do I want another one? Well, I got to think about my camera. I'm definitely going to be sitting, sorry it got out of focus, I got close. I'm definitely going to be sitting right here. So I want my camera to my immediate right, which is going to be right here in this area. So now I want a camera open here, because any deer I want to shoot out straight in front of me, I've got an angle for right here. I mean, I can come this way, I can come this way, or I got a shot all the way to that sprayer. So plenty of distance right here. Don't want to open this up anymore. So, but we do need a camera hole over here. Now, with my tripod, I can adjust it up or down. Hole over here, but I'm not going to cut a strip. I'm just going to cut it up high for the camera arm, because I can adjust this up or down. And we're going to see how that works. And there's my camera spot. That's a square hole, which you can see you can see a little bigger than my hand. But now my camera there, so any deer that is out here, even with the zoom's going to go past that rubber, and I've got the deer in view. So no need to do anything else there. So now we got to worry about this angle over here. Now, if a deer comes out over here and it's not funneling this way to where I think I can get a shot over here, and I have to shoot it over here, I've got to prepare an opening for my gun and also for the camera. But I don't want a lot of openings in here. So we're going to see, and then I'm gonna cut just some view openings. Not necessarily you can get a gun out, because like I said, this center hole, I can cover at least 120 degrees of this opening. Right? I don't have a shot in this corner, but that's why I'm going to trim this up. But I also got to keep in mind, if the deer comes out over here, I am going to have to move my camera arm. So now here, if I'm sitting in the middle, which I'm going to be, and I got a shot over here, the easiest thing for me to do is going to push straight back in this chair and come and get on an angle right here. Well, I can grab my camera and move it over here. So first I'm going to get my shot opening. I don't want to get too far to this, because again, this area right here, there's no shot opportunity there. My shot opportunity is right there. So this helps in cutting it. The tighter it is, the easier it cuts. And we're going to go back and we're going to tighten these openings up that we cut. So in the edges, I'm seeing if any deer are coming out. I'm looking, but I'm concealed. And when the deer look at this box, I can get away with more movement than if not. Like I said, this window here being blacked out to this side helps tremendously. There's absolutely no possibility of a shot there. And two, with the camera hole, I've got a view. It's a growed up privet hedge. I mean, I can see maybe 5 yards into it. So if a deer comes down through there, he's either going to have to come out here for me to get a shot, or I'm not going to get a shot. So there's no need to open that up. I've got some daylight coming in around this door, but I feel comfortable with this. Definitely have a good field of view, definitely to catch movement. Sitting back here, I mean, I can sit right here like this, which is probably what I'll do. Camera will be there. I've got good view this way to catch movement. Got good views this way to catch movement. And now what I want to do though is, where I've cut this, you can see it's flexible right here. It's flexible now. I mean, wind, hunting in the wind, this starts flapping. It's going to draw attention to it. I don't want to draw. I want the deer to come out here and feel just as comfortable as if I wasn't here. So we're going to tighten this up with those tech screws. I'll show you what I'm going to. Tech screws. Put them in. We're going to pull this down. We're going to get tension on it there. I'm going to pin this. I'm going to pin that tight. I'm gonna do the same thing up top above the opening. And here where I cut this other slit, gonna do the same thing. Gonna pull it tight. Run that screw in there. Now, see this? I mean, if I'm flipping it, it's movement, but the wind's gonna have a hard time. I'm gonna put one more in it. Ladybug. The wind's gonna have a hard time moving that. Here, same thing. I'm gonna tighten this front one up. And a deer's gonna struggle mightily to catch deer movement in here. And so that's that. And what I'm gonna do now is, I've got some extra rubber. I didn't like the way those does acted. I don't know what episode it's gonna be in because it was filmed yesterday morning. I didn't like the way those does acted around that redneck box. Definitely don't have this kind of opening, so I mean they were leery of it. I'm going in there anyway. Like I said, it's a warm day. I'm going in there, going to fill up the feeder, which I didn't do the other day. I just spread it out on the ground. I'm going to go ahead and check those cards to see if I got split G2 on there, and then I may do some more work to the redneck there, especially with this cold front coming in next week, guys. I mean, the highs are in the low 30s. There's a possibility of snow. I want to be in these boxes. Alright guys, I just come back up here to where I set the ground blind up. I didn't have a chair in here. I'm going to go ahead and put a chair in there. Even though it's just been 2 days, I'm going to change this card out. I want to see if anything's coming up here. This is one of those gullies right over here, one of the drainages, and you can see how thick this is. This is this whole property. So I mean, there's no trees. You can see no high trees here. So you're limited to hunting ground blinds, shooting houses, and the open spots are just not here. I mean, this is the old logging road that this was on, and like I said, right down there where all the briars are, that was the old landing they used to load the logs out of here in '99, and it wasn't planted, it just grew back natural. So but that's one of the draws to this property is, I mean, we're surrounded by mountains I mean, we're on the mountain, but we got ridges and valleys, and on the back side of us is a creek, a big creek, and there's a hunting club over there's a hunting club this way, there's private land this way that gets hunted pretty heavily, and all those properties are open hardwoods, big, open, virgin timber. And with this being so thick, when the hunting pressure starts, which is gun season here, when the gun season opens and four-wheelers start hitting the woods and smells and everything else, I think it pushes those deer into this property. Not what I wanted to see. Gosh, I didn't push the trail cam in, it was just in the slot. So it's been there for 2 days. Can't take a picture because it says no memory card. Dadgummit. I can tell deer's been in it. Got a good trail coming up right here. Got this bottom right here. So we'll just have to wait. Dadgummit. You guys know this spot. We're back here in the redneck, and like I said, I didn't like the way those does was acting, so blackout. Modification. Now I just gotta check my camera angle, and then I'm gonna get down, see what it looks like from the outside. I just don't see how they can catch any movement. Again, same scenario as over there. Too thick to shoot. Got a small opening. Main shots is down here, which is the max I've got in that back corner back there is 100 yards. And then it tethers up from there, right here in this corner, maybe 70. And then, so, and I mean, we're probably 60 yards wide, but you gotta take what you can get. Like I said, it's just too thick, and the landowner let us clear what we've got and didn't want to would want us doing anymore else. So when you don't own it, you got to respect the landowner's wishes. So, I mean, you know, he told us we could cut down a tree here or there if we needed to hunt, or, you know, keep the paths cleared, cut a tree down and fall across. But as far as openings, we've got all the openings he's willing to allow. So do the best you can with it. And it's been a good piece of property. I would love to own it. But all right, guys, I left the camera up there and got down, and I'm standing about 20 yards from the box. And I left the camera in my little hole there. There is absolutely no way that they could see that. None. Should have checked it before I put the new blackout. But I bet they could see it. I bet they could see it moving when I was turning the head. But there is absolutely no way they're seeing in that box now. I mean, there's just no way. I mean, if that doesn't get it done, I don't know what else to do. Never had a problem here at this stand until this year. That's going to do it for today's video. It's probably about 3 o'clock. Hope you guys liked this. I hope it was helpful. Just something that had to be done, and I'll keep you posted on Split G2 as soon as we get some more pictures of him on the trail cam. But we've got 3 of the 4 ravines I wanted covered, and I've got a trail cam up on the 4th one. So hope you like this content. Please subscribe, please. I mean, come on. When we get to 1,000 subscribers, we're going to have a giveaway. It's going to be nice, because we do nice stuff. But and when we get to 1,000, we're going to have a random drawing and give away something that I think you guys will love. So give the channel a like, give this video, give the channel a subscribe, give this video a like, and comment to us. Let us know if you'd like to see something else, or how you like the content, or whatever, or ask us any questions you want. Brand's back in West Tennessee right now. He did a little hunting this weekend. Didn't have a lot of success, but got some good footage and got some stands moved. And so it's all part of the process. You put in the work and put in the time, and eventually you'll get rewarded. So that's what we're hoping for. But anyway, check in for the next episode. Thanks for watching.